My name is Etoma Edu.
Indeed, it's the midweek already. Thank you for joining us. I am Veronica Danikboy.
And good morning, Nigeria. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. Thanks for choosing us. I am Ria Abdul.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. This is TVC Breakfast. It's the midweek edition. The table, as I always like saying, is full. My name is Nelson Etta. And I would say good morning, Veronica. Good morning, Thomas.
Yeah, and the table is better constituted today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we've been treating you well.
No, you guys have been great. I really appreciate it.
I was waiting to hear what you were going to say because yesterday I was calming you down. I did my job to calm him down yesterday.
What did you do? What happened to him?
We'll talk about that after the show.
All right.
I know I did my work well.
But he's been blessed amongst women.
I know.
Absolutely.
Among beautiful women.
I'm feeling jealous now. Okay? You will extend that treat to me too.
Of course.
No,
but it is good to have you back, though.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back
Thank you.
on the show. I'm sure you had a great time out there doing what you know how to do best.
I tried.
Absolutely. Well, like we have rightly pointed out this morning, we have an array of issues, though we are focusing on the move by Dangote and the refinery to talking about the issues around it. There are those who are concerned that perhaps his move, it's about ensuring that there is a monopoly, but then we'll be discussing that later on, although he has said that he is withdrawing the matter from the courts. But let's begin with the story where the Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa has condemned the University of Ibadan for suspending 2 students for 2 sessions over what they described as a peaceful protest against fee hikes. The organization described the suspension as a violation of students' constitutional rights, as the affected students have now spoken out, accusing the school of unfair treatment. TVC News Olaide Oyewole has details in this report.
The University of Ibadan is once again in the spotlight, this time not for academic excellence, but for suspending 2 students over their participation in a peaceful protest against rising school fees. Their placards had simply read, "No to fee hike," but the consequences have been anything but simple. I spoke with Mide Gbadegeshin and Ayodele Aduwo, who after over a year of facing several disciplinary processes, were eventually suspended. They recounted how they endured a series of unpleasant experiences at the hands of the university before the final decision was reached. A 3rd student is also awaiting a similar fate.
We were beaten, physically assaulted, and we were handed over to the Nigerian army, which was widely reported by major newspapers and TV stations on that very day. And I should also add that besides that, we have been subjected to a year-long prosecution. We have gone through about 3 disciplinary proceedings where members of the panel ask consistent, biased questions, not because they were looking out for justice.
We're beaten by the security operative, and the treatment we did not receive by the Nigerian army was what was doled out to us at the University of Ibadan. After that situation, we have had a series of victimization ranging from disciplinary proceedings.
Meanwhile, a civil rights group, Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa, strongly condemned the university's decision, calling it a violation of the students' rights. They are demanding the immediate reinstatement of the suspended students, saying they may pursue legal action should the university fail to reverse the decision.
At the moment, we are considering legal and civil options to ensure justice for these students. If the university continues on this path, then definitely it would have to defend itself in the courts and also in the court of public conscience. Like I have established earlier, no student should suffer for simply speaking up and expressing genuine concerns.
Repeated efforts to get the university management side of the story proved abortive at the time of filing this report. Olaide Oyewole, TVC News, Ibadan.
It's sad the kind of treatment these students are getting as a result of they speaking up. about a matter they feel affected not just them, but also their colleagues. It's about hike in fees. And this happened last year. And this matter has been dragging on for quite a while now. It's seeming like justice is not going to be in sight anytime soon. I like the fact that CAPPA is stepping in to say, you know what, the school cannot continue in this manner. And we've seen other organizations speak up about this. Even Amnesty International has said, you should allow the students return to school and do the needful, because they were, protesting within their constitutional rights, saying no to hiking fees. I think that the institution needs to begin to engage people now to understand why it is going hard on these students for speaking up, because they said they did not do anything. They just held placards, and that was it. They didn't obstruct anybody. They did not stop any movement. They just stood holding placards, and they were bundled out of that event where they protested and where they were speaking. I'm wondering why the school is going in this manner.
It's a university, and the management of the university should, I believe, know that there's a right to public protest for citizens, not just students of an institution. And for a citadel of learning like the University of Ibadan, we would expect activism, we'll expect activism. It was peaceful protest, and they went through all the things they went through. What if it was not a peaceful one? Protest? What would have happened? It touched me when that gentleman said that the treatment they did not receive from the Nigerian army, they received in campus by security operatives in campus. When you give power to somebody, that's when you really start knowing that person. Power is just like money. When somebody has money, that's when you really know the character of the person. It is really sad that an Ivy League university, if I can use that, like the University of Ibadan, that should be shining the torch, is the one that's culpable in this case. It's sad.
I'm wondering the implication of this on the minds of students who are disgruntled about a particular matter that they see is affecting the generality of the students, and they want to talk about this. How will they engage with the school? How are you encouraging students' engagement with you so as to know how to chart a course that will move the institution forward? Because this, for me, I think is not going well at all. Rhea.
Definitely not going well at all. And my fear with Nigeria is not freedom of speech, it's freedom after speech. And what they did, they didn't even make noise, they just held placards. And what they're even protesting for is something very vital. We're talking about fee hikes. We know what the economy is saying. How many people have a lot of money like that to even pay school fees? We've spoken about it on this table, how difficult it is. And now they're protesting that we want to go to school, but the fees are too much. I would think that the university will rather listen to their cries and sit some of them down and see how they can work things together. There's nothing communication cannot do. But here it's looking like an abuse of power, because they did that and the next thing you're expelling them. Why are you expelling them? What are the reasons? Suspension. What are the reasons for suspending them? Because they were, doing their rights. I'm so happy that CAPPA has come into this, and I really hope, I like what the girl said, that they may take legal action. And if they take legal action, I think it's within their rights.
Of course, it is within their rights to take legal action and represent these people. In the 60s, in the 70s, and when you talk about schools, Nelson, we know how people were active, young persons were active at that time. We see some of them were even willing to be rusticated, whatever it is, to ensure. Some of them were part of those who fought for our democracy as we speak. And some of them are still being active in terms of activism. I don't know where we are headed in terms of freedom of speech.
And I'm really wondering if UI themselves have forgotten that they existed in that era you're talking about. For two students who just held paper over their head to be treated like this. I mean, UI didn't just fall my hand, they fell the hands of all Nigerians and every educated person in this country. That's absolutely wrong. What are they then trying to keep, set a pace here? Are they saying that in UI, students cannot protest? How many times have protests been held, or speak up, how many times have protests been held in UNILAG, for instance? I mean, what would they have done to those students? Would they bundle everybody out of the way? So this is absolutely wrong. CAPPA should do all they can, and not just CAPPA, please. every other person should join hands with CAPPA to seek justice for these 2 students.
Absolutely.
After all, they were not fighting for 2 of them alone.
Yeah,
they were fighting for the entire
generality of the
institution.
students of the school. It was in the interest of
Yeah.
the students, and we hope, like you have said, Nelson, that every other organization fighting for human rights step in to addressing this matter at the end of the day, so we can see justice being done for not just these 2 students, but the students at large. All right, we'll take a breather now and return for the newspaper review. Stay with us.